Today we're gonna make a must-have breakfast recipe. Biscuits, but low carb and keto. See you on the inside. Hey, I'm Chef Alexia. For those of you that are new, make sure that you subscribe and you will find the recipe below. So let's make these savory breakfast biscuits. We're gonna start with almond flour. You could substitute that for gluten-free flour or brown rice flour if you are gluten-free. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This will help it to fluff up. Now we're gonna season it with a little bit of thyme. Guess what time it is? Breakfast time! Season with a little bit of salt. And just mix all the dry ingredients together. We're gonna set that aside so we could start doing the wet ingredients. So I have 2 eggs. I have 1 cup of cheese here, but we're only gonna put half of it because we're gonna use the rest of it on top of the biscuits. You can find this recipe in my first ever cookbook. You can find it at oneweekchef.com. I have sautéed some red peppers with a little bit of paprika for flavor. You could also add bacon or sausage or anything that you really like. The most important part is that everything that you put in here is cooked and cooled before we mix everything together. Basically, by sautéing everything, the water is completely evaporated, so it's not gonna mess up our dough. So now we're gonna whisk that together. And now we're gonna combine our dry and wet ingredients. Now let's mix everything together. Now imagine the cheese is going to melt. The egg is gonna puff them up, the baking powder is gonna aerate it, and it's gonna be such a decadent biscuit. We're gonna bake it at 350, and I have here parchment paper so they don't stick in the bottom. A good idea is to use 2 spoons, so basically you could start scooping them out. This makes approximately 10 portions. And then we're gonna use the back of the spoon and just squeeze it down a little bit. Okay, I got a little excited, so I only got 9. Just make sure that you top them with a little bit more cheese. We're gonna bake it for 9 to 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on them at 350. Here it is. Look at them. They became so big, right? And they're so fluffy. The most important thing is when they come out that you let them sit for another 10 minutes. This is not flour, so it needs a little bit of time to rest so the cheese could become hard again and the egg, so it could get the consistency of a biscuit. So they're a little bit more bouncy. If you want them a little bit more crispy on the outside, just cook them a little bit longer. If you enjoyed this 5-minute assembly recipe and you want more, make sure that you hit the notification button and subscribe. Find more things that I do on oneweekchef.com and the recipe will be down below.